We move to the capital, where KwaZulu-Natal top cop Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi claims certain journalists are being used to push the agenda of senior police officers who are protecting drug syndicates in the country. Mkhwanazi made the revelations this morning during his testimony on the third day of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, sitting at the Bridget Mabandla Justice College in Pretoria. The commission was established by President Cyril Ramaphosa following Mkhwanazi's explosive July 6th briefing, where he claimed the criminal justice system in Gauteng was being controlled by senior cops and politicians in cahoots with drug cartels and criminals.
The system of protecting the drug squad, media plays part. Let me rephrase. Journalists within media houses, they are part of this in pushing certain narratives.
For live updates on the Commission, visit ewn.co.za or watch live proceedings on our YouTube channel. We move to the courts, where Dr. Mandy Magumana's bid for freedom in the Constitutional Court has caused the main trial involving prison escapee Besta to stall in the High Court. Magumana, Besta and 7 others accused of orchestrating his escape from prison appeared in the Free State High Court in Bloemfontein today. Besta has fired his attorneys for a third time and has appointed new lawyers. Modise has more.
Dr. Nandi Magumana entered the dock today in a fitted double-breasted suit and a yellow chiffon scarf. She exchanged glances with her alleged accomplice Thabo Besta and hugged her father Zolile Sekeleni, who are both her co-accused in the prison escape matter. In May, the Supreme Court dismissed her application, where she challenged the lawfulness of her extradition, and she then approached the Constitutional Court. Today, her lawyer Machini Mugaung briefed the court.
We are awaiting directions in respect of an application for leave to appeal.
Magumana's main escape case has been pushed to the 5th of December for an update on her Constitutional Court bid. Modise, Eyewitness News at the Free State High Court.
In the Western Cape, a teacher at a primary school in Mitchell's Plain says she and her colleagues have emergency measures in place in order to protect themselves and their children when gun violence erupts in the community. Ducking and diving to dodge gangsters' bullets has become the norm for children living in gang-riddled areas across the Cape. Communities including Mitchell's Plain, Kraaifontein and Hanover Park have experienced a surge in gun violence in recent weeks. In a recent video that's gone viral on social media, the woman can be heard calming the children in her class amidst a spate of gunshots. Lauren Isaacs has more.
A group of Grade R learners at Yellowwood Primary School in Mitchell's Plain lie quietly, flat on their stomachs on a carpet on the classroom floor as gunshots ring out outside. In a calm voice, their teacher, Suneed Majid, tells the boys and girls to close their eyes and listen to the music. Majid says the incident happened shortly after 11 a.m. last Friday.
The shooting happened just behind my classroom. Immediately, I locked my gate, my door, moved my kids away from the window, instructed them to leave.
Majid says every Monday morning, her children share harrowing stories about gang violence. Lauren Isaacs, Eyewitness News.
The Reserve Bank has revised its growth forecast up to 1.2% from the previous 0.9%. The central bank made its revision during its bi-monthly Monetary Policy Committee meeting this week. The MPC delivered the latest repo rate decision today, keeping the benchmark policy rate unchanged at 7%. The prime lending rate remains at 10.5%. Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago says the upward revision is despite a weaker export outlook on the back of higher tariffs.
At our last meeting, we noted positive indicators for second quarter output. Last week's GDP release still surprised on the upside, with the highest quarterly growth rate in 2 years. We have therefore marked up our growth forecast for the year from 0.9% to 1.2%.
Kganyago says modest output gains are expected over the next few years, helped by structural reforms.
There are also some cyclical indicators such as credit extension which look positive. However, reaching a healthy growth rate will require much higher investment levels than we are achieving now.
And the United States has vetoed a draft resolution that would have demanded an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza at the United Nations Security Council. This comes as the UN's humanitarian office warns that the last lifelines for civilians are collapsing in Gaza City as Israel expands its military offensive. This is the sixth time the country has voted against the draft resolution. Palestinian ambassador to the UN, Riyad Mansour, has called the US's decision deeply regrettable and painful. He says it had prevented the Security Council from playing its rightful role in the face of those atrocities. Gold's trading at $3,657.39 an ounce. The rand's at 17.35 to the dollar, at 23.43 to the pound, at 20.41 to the euro. Brent crude oil's at $67.11 a barrel.
Edenvale heading towards Bedfordview. There's slow-moving traffic on the R24 westbound between Edenvale Road and the Gilulis interchange. Also leaving Brakpan heading towards Benoni. Traffic a bit sluggish on Rangeview Road between Dube and Tom Jones. And in the mother city, there's an accident scene causing heavy delays on the N1 outgoing. This is approaching Blatterkloof Road.
Look at your weather. It's clear skies in Gauteng this afternoon. Temperatures have peaked at highs between 28 and 29 degrees. It's also clear skies in the mother city this afternoon with moderate southeasterly winds at a high of 24 degrees. The top story in Eyewitness News this hour: the death toll following an accident involving a scholar transport vehicle in Imbali Township in Pietermaritzburg has risen to 5 after a pupil succumbed to her injuries in hospital this morning.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. You're with Mandy Wiener on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. On the show today, Brown Mogotsi in the crosshairs at the Madlanga inquiry, the pre-trial hearing of Besta and Magumana in Bloemfontein today. Residents in Cape Town march on Parliament against gang violence. Joburg's Mayor appears before the Water and Sanitation Oversight Committee. And it's Friday, so sports and good things too. All of that over the next hour.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app, DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Report on 702 and Cape Talk with me, Mandy Wiener. Good to be with you today. Besta and Magumana in Bloemfontein court today for that pre-trial hearing. That's been postponed. We'll speak to our reporter who is there for us. That's taking place today. A few other court matters as well. Of course, the big focus still on the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, the Madlanga Commission. KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner and Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi are still on the witness stand there. Have you been listening? What are your thoughts thus far? Send me a WhatsApp voice note, 072-702-1702, 072-567-1567. Much of the focus today has been on Brown Mogotsi, and a number of comments made by General Mkhwanazi have been about Brown Mogotsi's influence, how he was aware of things before other people were aware of them, how he had crime intelligence documents as well. So take a listen to what was happening earlier when General Mkhwanazi spoke about how Brown Mogotsi forwarded him documents of a crime intelligence meeting when he wasn't even at that meeting. Take a listen.
And the following message that he sent me 2 minutes later, he then says, I hope you understand.
Before you go on, General, did you get to know whether there had indeed been such a presentation?
I did confirm with the Divisional Commission of Crime Intelligence, and it did confirm that there was a presentation that was made a day before this screenshot was sent. So, and he confirmed that Brown Mogotsi was not in that meeting. The people that were in the meeting is a minister and some of the minister's staff and the only management of crime intelligence. Only the senior management of crime intelligence that were in that meeting. So it is one of the people that was in that meeting that took the screenshot and sent it, of course, to Brown Mogotsi. Hence he forwarded this thing to me. And his last message was, I hope you understand, will revert confidentially is key here. That was his word. I hope you understand, will revert. Confidentiality is key here. So hence I say, commissioners, that this meant one of the two things, that either Mogotsi was part of the meeting or a senior person, either from the police or from the ministry that was in that meeting, shared this meeting with this Brand Mogotsi. And that was a concern for me, because a person who's not a police officer, even worse, a person who's not working at crime intelligence, will sit in such a meeting and be able to take copies of presentations.
So that was a bit earlier on that comments made about Brown Mogotsi. There was also a moment of levity, but it also speaks to the tensions within that inquiry taking place in Pretoria. Take a listen.
Even worse, a person who's not working at crime intelligence will sit in such a meeting and be able to take copies of presentations. And, or alternatively, someone from... No, you are safe, commissioners.
Apologies, Chair.
As technology, it happens.
Very skittish, obviously, but at least some humour as well. That bang going off, and the KZN provincial commissioner saying, "Don't worry, you're safe," to the commissioners. Well, let's get into some of the evidence being led today. Oren Singh, EWN reporter, is there for us. Oren, good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. How was Brown Mogotsi getting access to these very what is the word? Classified. That's the word I'm thinking of. Intelligence documents.
Afternoon, Mandy. Well, I think Lieutenant General Mkonazi paints a picture and alludes to sort of some links between Brown Mogotsi and Crime Intelligence's Major General Feroz Khan, who is seen and often dubbed as the top spy boss in the country. He alludes to possibly links between the pair. Brown Mogotsi himself has come out into the public and the media previously claiming he's an informant for crime intelligence and that he was involved in the arrest of Thabo Besta in Tanzania. And this was brought up during this afternoon's proceedings after tea, where Lieutenant General said, well, if Brown is saying that, perhaps he is working, or he might know Major General Feroz Khan, because as far as I understand, Major General Khan was involved in that operation to arrest Thabo Besta. So a lot coming out about Brown Mogotsi, stuff we have heard before, but then there has been a few bites here and there of some new evidence that has been presented today.
Political interference also coming up today.
Interesting, Mandy, very interesting, that one. Coming from that side or that neck of the woods, Richards Bay, Impangeni area, which is featured quite prominently in his testimony, he suggests that there was a meeting with the former Minister of Mineral Resources, Gwede Mantashe, around some high-profile killings that were happening at Richards Bay Minerals, RBM, a big private company based out in the coastal town of Richards Bay, and that they had deployed a team of detectives down to Richards Bay to try and uncover who have been behind this murder. One of those murders was that of the general manager of Richards Bay Minerals, Nico Swart, in May 2021. But the team managed to get nothing within a year. And so Mkonazi alleges that after a year of spending the resources to have them deployed down there, he called them back, only for the National Police Commissioner, Fani Masimola, to allegedly call him and say, "Why did you call the detectives back to Durban? I've just been informed by the presidency that they should be sent back to Richards Bay." So this raises questions around the presidency getting involved in a private company and trying to push their case ahead of the many millions of other cases in the country.
Oren, thank you very much. Oren Singh, EWN reporter at the Madlanga inquiry. And Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi still on the stand there. Let's listen in to what's happening right now.
But it's part of conversation that is extracted from Gerald Kopali. It shows the other communication, not necessarily only with the minister.
So how do we read this? Are you suggesting to the Commission that from the first entry to about just past the halfway point of the page, I don't want to mention the name that is written there. Everything above is a communication between Major General Gopal and the minister, but everything else below, you see there is a word in parentheses before an ID number. Are you suggesting everything below that now no longer involves the minister, but it's communication that is within Major General's telephone?
Commissioner, yes, this communication is not necessarily with the minister, but if you read the last message on 333,
yes,
which is dated the 30th of March 2025 at 10:59 in the morning,
yes,
where Jarokopal with the name Anthony, where he typed that minister, local branch may raise concern on candidate as from the charter I picked up, or the chat I picked up. Let me explain to the Commission what this communication is about. This communication is not about the case of a councillor. And it's a culture of the experience we have as a police that when the executive authority is engaging on a political project, there's always blurred lines about focusing on political issues, but you want to bring the portfolio of being the executive authority and you invite the police to be part of this political program.
And Clantum Konazi, sure, strong statement there about political interference in the work of the police. I think we're going to hear a lot more about this. He's going to be on the stand for a while, from what it sounds like.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
In Bloemfontein today, the pre-trial hearing of convicted rapist and murder accused Thabo Besta and Nandipha Magumana. They appeared in court today. That pre-trial hearing was meant to take place in July, but there were some issues there. Khomotso Modise, EWN, reporting in court for us. Khomotso, good afternoon to you. Tell us about what happened in court today.
Good afternoon, Mandy. Well, the matter was set down for pre-trial today in the Free State High Court. And Thabo Besta has changed his attorneys once again. He fired his last attorneys, and this is the fourth time that he's changing lawyers. Today, a new advocate also came on record, that is Madlanga Maila, who is the advocate now, who's going to be arguing on behalf of Thabo Besta. He addressed the court speaking about readiness and committing that he will stay on this case so long as Besta wants him on the case. And this is because, Mandy, we heard from the judge who had said, we've just had too many ups and downs. It's been 2 years and 5 months since Besta and Magumana were extradited back into South Africa from Tanzania. So that was the first part, of proceedings where Besta had to assure the court that these are his lawyers and he's standing by them. The second part, Mandy, that we saw was when we, got into exactly why we're here in court today. And we've learned that the Constitutional Court bid by Dr. Nandipha Magumana for freedom has caused the matter to stall once more in court here today. Let's take a listen to her lawyer, Machile Mutlowu.
My lady, I confirm that there's still a matter in the Constitutional Court that is outstanding. We are awaiting directions in respect of an application for leave to appeal under case number CCT-20.
So this matter delayed again because of that Concord hearing and also because of Thabo Besta's change in lawyers. Khomotso, I can't imagine the court is thrilled with the fact that this is dragging on.
Absolutely not. Mandy, we heard the presiding judge in this matter really speaking about how counsel in this case need to commit and stay on the case. And we heard the new lawyer for Thabo Besta hitting back saying it's not them who are pulling out, it is the client, so it's the accused who are terminating the mandate. But we have heard the lawyers in this case that are currently on the matter giving assurance to the court that, if they are still wanted on the case, then they are willing to stay on. So I suppose all we have to do is wait and see how much longer or how far we are from the main trial.
Khomotso, thank you very much. Khomotso Modise, EWN reporting, court in Bloemfontein there. So this has been kicked back to at least December now because of these delays and very much delays being incurred by the accused. How many times legally, if there's a lawyer, can you explain to me, is it your discretion to change your legal team as often as you like? Is it a tactic? I have seen it employed as a tactic many times before, but 4 times before the trial even starts. I remember he was representing himself at one point as well. I think there comes a point where the court will say enough, and we actually need to get the show on the road now. Real growth needs more than just banking, and Nedbank Commercial Banking is your growth partner. Their team of industry experts understand your business and its potential, offering insight to help you see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because when you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
There's something magical about booking your next getaway. Whether you're flying for business or leisure, Airlink is ready to take you there in premium comfort. With over 45 destinations in 15 African countries, Airlink connects you throughout Southern Africa and beyond.
Groceries by buying still good value bags. Packed with groceries by leading retailers that are still perfectly good, just close to their sell-by date. You win by saving, retailers win by cutting food waste, and communities win as Still Good donates 10% of their earnings to food charities. Visit stillgood.co.za. Start getting more bang for your buck with Still Good.
Remember when everyone thought NFTs were the future of modern art? When non-fungible was a buzzword used in boardrooms to justify buying pixels, and the metaverse was just months away, and that we'll all be living in our virtual mansions, admiring our digital paintings, only to realize they were just expensive JPEGs. When you can't trust a trend, trust a 30-year track record of outperforming benchmarks.
Coronation. Trust is earned. Coronation is an authorized FSP.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
Good day, this is Mandy. It's Pepilon of Eldos. You recall a couple of months back when a no confidence vote was brought up by the opposition parties, DA included, and concerning Mr. Dada or whatever. And I would say at the end they were too hasty, whereby now I foresee a good chance. I wonder if possible, bring them up, ask them to bring that no confidence vote against Mr. Morero now. And I tell you, it will work. Thank you. Pepilo Eldo.
I don't know, it's politics. So it's not necessarily about performance. It's about what kind of deals being made between the ANC and its partners in the city of Joburg. We have a local government election coming up next month. Next year. We have a local government election coming up. But we'll play you some audio of Dada Morero appearing before the Parliamentary Oversight Committee on water. And it's all going down there. So we'll take you to that in a little bit.
702, the Midday Report, Monday to Friday.
12 to 1 p.m.
In Cape Town, a protest taking place today. Residents protesting against ongoing gang violence and a level of frustration, as you can well understand, by residents that anti-crime march to Parliament. Let's speak to Ntuzelo Nene, EWN reporter, who's following that for us. And Ntuzelo, good afternoon to you. Who exactly is marching there today?
Good afternoon, Mandy. The residents of Overcome Heights in Muizenberg feel their voices are not being heard and that those in power have neglected them. The women activists from the area have once again chained themselves to the gates of Parliament in protest over escalating gang violence in their area. Now, Mandy, this is the second time that they've taken their frustrations to Parliament's doorstep this week. On Tuesday, they did a similar demonstration right at the doorstep of Parliament. Several mass shootings have been reported in Overcome Heights and surrounding neighborhoods in the past few months. And last week, Acting Police Minister Feroz Kachalia visited the province and admitted that they are lagging behind in their fight against organized crime. Now, these demonstrators here say their streets have become war zones, and they are calling for the army to be deployed to quell the violence in the Muizenberg area. We spoke to Karen Mantua, one of the women who've chained themselves to the gates of Parliament, and this is what she has to say.
They must arrest us today for our rights, because we're not fighting, we as women, we're fighting for our families and for our kids. Our kids can't go to school because of this. Our kids can't go to school. They're traumatized. They're traumatized. Yeah, this morning, even the cleaners supposed to be a lot of women here, but the bodies was laying there.
Harrowing listening to that. Nduduzelo, what response from authorities?
There hasn't been any response from authorities at the moment, Mandy. Police have just come out to try and remove the women from the gates, but the women saying that they are not going anywhere, as you have heard in that in the clip, that they're saying they are willing to even sleep here if that has to happen. And I believe that inside there is a debate on gun violence by parliamentarians. So we're still waiting to see who's going to come out and speak to these demonstrators, Mandy.
Nduduzelo, thank you very much. Nduduzelo Nene, EWN reporter, reporting there on that anti-crime march taking place on Parliament. A real level of frustration from residents in the Cape Flats, specifically across Cape Town, with the level of gang violence. We've heard the Premier, we've heard the Mayor speaking about resources and how desperately those are needed. And really, they cannot come soon enough.
Good day, Mandy, and congratulations for your latest book. On Thabo Besta, yes, he did try to represent himself. However, the minute he needed a computer, the judge told him no. Hired a lawyer. Mr. Ramaphosa hired a lawyer. He studied the law. Thanks, Dima.
Thank you, Dima. Thank you for that WhatsApp voice message. Yeah, I always get worried when accused don't ask for legal aid or don't ask for any kind of legal representation and want to represent themselves. You know that you're reaching treacherous ground. 12:30, time for Eyewitness News headlines.
Thanks, Mandy. Good afternoon. We begin in the Western Cape, where women activists from Overcome Heights and Muizenberg have once again chained themselves to the gates of Parliament in protest over escalating gang violence in the area. This is the second time they've taken their frustrations to Parliament's doorstep this week. Several mass shootings have been reported in the Muizenberg area in the past few weeks. Last week, Acting Police Minister Firis Kochalia admitted that police are lagging behind in their fight against organised crime in the Cape. We move to the capital, where KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi says Brown Mokhotsi, a Northwest businessman, is not an informant for crime intelligence. Testifying on the third day of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today, Mkhwanazi has spoken at length about Mokhotsi, a person he paints as an information peddler who has been meddling in police affairs. Eyewitness News previously reported that Mokhotsi is a convicted criminal on multiple cases of assault, theft and defeating the ends of justice dating back to 1997. For live updates on the Commission, visit ewn.co.za or watch live proceedings on our YouTube channel. And the Reserve Bank has raised concerns about what it has labelled as serious dysfunction in administered prices following a multi-billion rand blunder by energy regulator NERSA. Earlier this month, NERSA admitted to a 54 billion rand error in calculating electricity tariffs. The regulator's oversight will cost consumers when tariffs increase by more than 8% per year for the next 2 financial years, instead of between 5 and 6% originally agreed on. Those are the headlines. This Eyewitness News and more at 1 o'clock or as it happens.
EWN Traffic.
Leaving Brakpan heading towards Benoni, we still have slow-moving traffic. This is on Rangeview Road between Dube and Tom Jones. Also driving through Bedford View, that's heading towards Alex. Slow-moving traffic on the N3 northbound between the Geldenes interchange and Gilulis. Also expect some delays leaving the Joburg CBD on Main Reef Road between Anderson and the M2. In the mother city, we still have that accident scene on the N1 outbound. This is approaching Plattekloof Road, causing some delays from Monte Vista. Also, slow-moving traffic on Solari's Pass heading towards Grabo. This is due to a stationary vehicle heading towards the lookout point. If you come across any other traffic issues, please WhatsApp us on 072-702-1702.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. EWN Sport.
Good afternoon, I'm Tolagele Mganga. We start in Lahore, where Pakistan won the toss and elected to bowl first in their second ODI against the Proteas women. An update from South Africa's innings sees them one without any loss after the first over. At the creases, Tasman Brits on 1 alongside captain Lara Veltvat on 0. Switching over to football, where Kaizer Chiefs have confirmed that head coach Nazruddin Nabi is currently not with the team as discussions remain ongoing regarding an internal matter. The club haven't said whether the Tunisian coach is on his way out, but they insist they remain focused on ensuring stability and continuity for the players and supporters during this period. The news comes ahead of the CAF Confed Cup first leg clash against Sport tomorrow. Over to the Currie Cup, where Quayne Hone will captain the Lions in tomorrow's final against the Griquas. That's after a knee injury ruled regular skipper PJ Botha out of the game. Asenasi Ntlabaganye will start at tight head prop, having trained with the squad over the past 2 weeks. And head coach Mzwake Nkosi has discussed his approach for the encounter as they look to go one better than last season.
Similar to last year, we're going to live and die by identity, but rugby is rugby. You can't move away from the stuff that's important: set piece, quality defense, good discipline, accurate kicking game, those type of things. And then, we'd be amiss to not play to our strength.
Tolagele Mganga, Eyewitness News Sport.
It all starts with FNB Private. With secure, easy payments for a hassle-free overseas holiday. Tap, swipe, or go digital with your FNB Visa cards. Earn rewards when using your FNB credit card or global account debit and virtual card. You can even fund your global account on the FNB app while traveling. Make the most of every moment. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider. TC's earn rules and limits apply.
Mzansi, don't miss out on playing Powerball and Powerball Plus for a life-changing 143 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 77 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 66 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial star 120 star 7529 hash for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old and play responsibly. E2 is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Experience extraordinary with the new iPhone 17, 256 gig from Vodacom, Zanzi's winning 5G network. More delightful, more durable, and now available. Get yours on a 3 gig Red Core plan from $899 per month over 36 months, plus a free extended warranty. Be the first to get it today. Available in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Further together. Vodacom. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car full of groceries and a lady who will be attempting to make her mother-in-law's famous recipe for the family dinner tonight. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's butterflies and a potential bonding moment. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
WhatsApp Mandy
on 072 702 1702.
I cannot understand why it is still being entertained, this issue of Thabo Besta having access to a computer, where his crimes that he's been convicted of, that he committed and sentenced for, involve computers. I don't know.
Lady Mike 702, I'll be honest and fair. In our country, once you are good with the crime that you do and whatever that you do for whatever that you do, they will always find a way to do what they can. You can change your lawyers as many times as you can, as long as you don't want to go to court. Every time when you are close to going to court, you change the lawyer, and then it's gonna be like that. People like Dr. like Besta, they are taking chances and they know that what they do will succeed, and they will reach that part where it makes them become clear.
When they do what they do and they do it well. Exactly right. I think that former President Jacob Zuma mastered the art of delaying a trial and kicking the can down the road. And I think that many others are using the Stalingrad approach, this interlocutory applications, pre-trial what, changing lawyers, going to another court like Nandipa has done now to delay we're going to see this go on forever. And this is a huge, huge issue because all it does is eat up court time and capacity, and it just delays the process, and it is incredibly frustrating.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener is brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently.
So in Parliament today, the Mayor of Johannesburg, Dada Morero, who we know is under enormous pressure when it comes to water. We saw what happened in Westbury last week. Big issues around water supply, water throttling in the city of Joburg. He's appearing before the Water and Sanitation Committee about the city's water problems. Already there have been some fireworks between him and the chairperson. Take a listen.
Noted the fact that the honourable member, the responses we give to you seems not to be giving you the answers that we have. You suggest that what we're saying probably is not helping you at all. And if it's not helping you as the chair of the committee, there's not any answer you could extract beyond what we have given you. Now,
Mayor,
I will agree
my apology,
with you.
Mayor. Mayor.
No, allow me, Chair, to conclude.
I will allow you.
Chair. No,
Mayor.
Allow me to conclude.
Mayor, I'm requesting you to give me a
No, Chair, you have asked.
No, don't. Mayor, we're not going to play. Don't play with us.
He can't respect you as a chairperson.
Mayor.
He must answer that question.
Honorable Mayor, I've asked you questions directly. Don't waffle your answers. I will summons you to Parliament if that is what you want.
It's all going down there. Dada Morero, the mayor of Joburg, appearing before that Parliamentary Oversight Committee. Lindsay Dentlinger, EWN reporter, is watching that for us. Lindsay, give us some context there and what exactly happened.
Good afternoon, Mandy. Well, this meeting was called really on the fly, and it was really sparked earlier this week when the Director General of the Water and Sanitation Department, Sean Phillips, had told Parliament that it was not necessarily because of lack of money that Johannesburg Water is not able to maintain the infrastructure and needs to do what it does, but because the city of Johannesburg had siphoned 4 billion rand generated in water revenue, had siphoned it from Joburg Water, which I should point out is not technically illegal, and using this money for other needs of the city. And it is the view of the department that if the money generated from water sales went to Johannesburg Water, they'd be in a far better position to do what they are needed to do to provide water in the city. And that is really why the committee wanted to hear from the mayor directly today as to why this is happening. And in that exchange that you've heard there, the mayor is saying, well, he needed permission from Treasury and that there are just too many competing demands in the city for all the water, for all the money that's generated from water sales to be used purely for that purpose. And the committee chairperson who you heard in that clip is a former councillor of almost 20 years, Leon Besson, saying he wasn't going to buy that explanation. A council resolution would suffice to ring-fence that money and make sure that money from water sales is used for water provision. And they wanted greater deadlines and specifics from the mayor as to when he was going to ring-fence that money and deadlines for when he's going to pay water contractors who have walked off the job. Again, this was something the committee had heard earlier this week because they are not being paid. So a myriad of issues that's giving rise to the problems in Johannesburg in terms of providing water. But Rand Water, who spoke to the committee earlier on, had said that this was really not a case of not enough water in the system, but certainly the demand in Johannesburg due to population growth and more importantly, Mandy, overconsumption. Johannesburg just using way above what is an international norm for per capita, and that all this water that they are pumping into the system just being used up far too quickly, Mandy.
Lindsay, how did this get resolved, and is he still giving evidence or still appearing, and how did it end? Is there any kind of resolution?
The committee meeting has ended. It was a virtual meeting, and as you heard in that clip, Leon Besson, the committee chairperson, saying that if the mayor didn't provide them with some of the answers that they were seeking in writing within 14 days, specifically about the payment of contractors and the way in which the money is being spent, then he would request that Dada Moreira come down to Cape Town and come and meet the committee face to face. Those are where they've kind of left this meeting for now. As I said, it was almost an emergency meeting called on the fly, but I don't think it's the end of the saga. The committee, as you heard, they're not happy with the explanations as to how the money is being used, and also not happy with the lack of deadlines for dealing with the city's water problems.
Lindsay, thank you very much. Lindsay Dentlinger, EWN reporter. Sure. So residents of Joburg, how do you feel about the way that the mayor of Joburg handled that matter before the Water and Sanitation Committee today? Are you satisfied with the depth of the answers, with the timelines given, with the conduct? And we've already seen how furious residents in Joburg are with the lack of water, the inconsistency, the water throttling that we're seeing. A lot of it is to do with infrastructure. We spoke to the Joburg Water MD about the money required in order to bring everything up to the necessary maintenance level that it needs to be at. I'd love to hear from you on that. 072 702 1702, 072 567 1567.
702.
The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener.
Let's walk the talk.
12:45 on the Midday Report. The Portfolio Committee on Higher Education receiving a briefing from the Department of Higher Education and Training today. This is to do with the appointment of administrators at the local government SETA, the services SETA, other departments and SETAs as well. We know this has been a contentious issue. Babalo Ndenze, EWN reporter, joins us now. Babalo, tell us about that hearing today.
Yes, indeed, Mandy. Putimana Mela, the Minister of Higher Education and Training, really appearing in Parliament for the first time to explain this decision that he took soon after he took office from the former Minister Ngabane, and he had to explain his reasons for, appointing these three administrators to these three SETAs. And, Chairperson Mkholetsiya basically saying that, they're convening this meeting after trying to have an earlier meeting on the 12th of this month, but could only get one on the 19th. They wanted, the minister to explain his decision quite earlier. Parties like the DA and EFF had questioned these appointments. We know one appointment is a former, MEC in Limpopo, also a former deputy speaker of a provincial legislature. So some of the concerns by members is that these people that are appointed to these SETAs are, too close to the ANC. Also, some of them implicated in forensic reports or investigations, in their previous positions that they held. So members really unhappy about these appointments. But Minister Manamela appearing and basically saying that they had no choice but to put these three SETAs under administration. He says that being an ANC member does not disqualify anyone in this regard, and these members or these appointees had every right to be appointed. They qualify, some of them have master's degrees, they have the experience to be administrators for these sector education and training authorities. He says they applied rigorous criteria when they selected them. And he also says that, these SETAs, specific SETAs in question, and were quite, dysfunctional and badly run. And he's saying that the challenges that are besetting these SETAs were just too serious for them to just, ignore and not appoint administrators. One of them, the services SETAs, for example, Mandy, procurement irregularities, almost became the norm, according to Manamela. He says the board turned a blind eye to basically everything that was happening, and consequence management was avoided. At the construction SETA, he says, the problems were even more visible over there, and saying it was already under administration since 2022, and the same symptoms emerged now in recent months. But let's just take a listen to what else is said about the seaters and providing reasons for his decision.
At the local government seater, the situation was perhaps most alarming. In March this year, National Treasury itself raised alarm, noting the irregular appointment of the CEO, the unlawful dissolution of the Audit and Risk Committee, and possible criminality in procurement. Municipal projects stalled, learners were left without stipends, and millions remain frozen in reserve. Instead of strengthening the skills base in municipalities, the very institutions meant to drive service delivery, the LGC had become itself a site of dysfunction.
Babalo and Denze, thank you very much, reporting there on the Portfolio Committee on Higher Education.
One festival, endless flavor, and 2 unforgettable days of timeless music. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, returns on 20 and 21 September at Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. On Saturday, the stage erupts with Don Toliver, Questa, and Nkabi Zezwe. Then on Sunday, experience the legendary Lauryn Hill, Wyclef Jean, Lyra, and more. The DSTV Delicious Festival, powered by Lotto Star. Tickets at Ticketmaster.
The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a parent and a nervous but excited kid practicing her lines to put on a show-stopping performance at the school play. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a future superstar on the move. Every story's different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702 was in conversation with Isanti Glass, unpacking how they're redefining glass manufacturing with sustainability and excellence while making a real impact in communities.
The campaign, It's in Our Hands, is really, firstly, a reminder of our responsibility collectively, to shape a better future for everyone. And it's a call to action, to consumers, brand owners, to make responsible choices. We understand that sustainability is front of mind. It's really important for a lot of people. And we believe that it is the future. It's in our hands. It's really, like I said, a call to action for all of us to remember that the decisions we make and the actions we take, those choices are in our hands, and we need to do, decisive and, conscious decision making.
702, in conversation with Isanti Glass. Visit isantiglass.com to learn more.
Sports Wrap.
Sports Wrap.
With Tolakele Mganga.
Tolakele has arrived in studio and wants to pick a song. What's going on here?
I was told there's no time for us.
What do you want to play? Tell us.
A Cardi B song, because her album is out today.
Okay, we here to do sport. Okay. Betway
Happy
Prim.
weekend.
Happy weekend, everyone. Friday. Brent's here. Brent is here. No.
So mean.
Betway Prim this weekend.
Yes, we've got kind of a double duty when it comes to the league and the cup competitions this weekend, because we know that Mamelodi Sundowns, Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs, they're involved in CAF competitions. Orlando Pirates and Chiefs play tomorrow. Of course, Chiefs, we know it's been a really weird
you lost,
week.
Sorry.
Yeah. That was... Yeah. Guys, I hope you guys are watching the live stream. That was awkward, eh? With Kaizer Chiefs, not only did they lose on the field, possibly off the field as well, because we're still waiting to find out exactly what's happening with Coach Nasruddin Nabi.
Why is it okay for you to say it, but not me?
I don't mean it from a mean place, Mandy. You hurt Palisa's feelings when you
Sorry, I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry. We're still friends. No.
She might switch off your mind at this point.
Okay.
So we still don't know what's happening with Coach Nasruddin Nabi. Chiefs releasing a statement over an hour ago where they say they're still in discussions with the coach. We're not sure if it's discussions for him to be released from his contract, or maybe they're trying to sort out those issues, because conflicting reports had come out during the week where some are saying there are issues with his CAF coaching license, while others are saying he wants to go back to Tunisia because ahead of the first game of the season, his wife was involved in an accident. But then African media reports are saying that other African clubs have already secured his signature. So there's a lot happening there with the club. I think it's a bit destabilizing when you're about to head into a Comfort Cup campaign, but they're focusing on that. But in terms of the Betway Premiership this weekend, Mamelodi Sundowns up against Durban City is possibly the big game of the weekend. But other clashes to look forward to include Stellenbosch against Richards Bay, while Mike Essie take on Siwelele.
CAF as well this weekend.
Yes, that's where the Kaizer Chiefs will be involved in the Confed Cup.
Yes.
Orlando Pirates take on Lolipo. And that game will take place on Saturday.
Proteas women in action this weekend?
They are playing right now against Pakistan women. Of course, we know that the big assignment for them is towards the end of October when they play the World Cup. So they will be looking for a series victory against Pakistan, who are probably one of the other big contenders when it comes to that competition. They won the first game by 8 wickets. They'll be looking to wrap it up. A lot of players coming into form in that first game, specifically Tasman Brits and Marizan Gab. So they'll be hoping to...
Both great knocks, great centuries.
Because Tamsin was speaking yesterday about that. Those are the things that they're looking to do, especially in the power play where they're aggressive. So they're getting into that mold. By the time they go into the World Cup, they already have the form and they're not trying to peak too early, but it's good signs for Mandla Mashimbi because he is changing the culture, considering how long Hilton Mureng has been with the side and some of the players are having to relearn other things. So for them, they want to wrap it up with the victory against Pakistan today.
Curry Cup final.
Yes.
Remember when the country used to like... No, you don't.
Hey! Hey!
Sorry, both of you. Everyone's going to leave the studio. Everyone's going to just leave me. Better behave.
We're young enough to
better
remember.
behave.
Yes, the Lions, it's the second year in a row that they're involved in the Curry Cup final. They'll be hoping to go one better this time around. They're up against the Griquas. So obviously for them, because we are a Joburg radio station, we'll be backing them. The interesting selection is Asanathi Ntlabaganye. We know that he didn't travel with the box when it came to New Zealand because there was that finding of his sample. We still don't know where he is because he's not suspended from playing, but I think the box just played it safe and said he'd rather not travel with the team. So until we know what's happening with his future, the Lions are willing to take the risk. But as for his long-term future with the national team, unfortunately, having done so well at the beginning of the year, I think it's so sad that now we're sitting here thinking about where his career is going.
Tolakele, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mandy.
Being nice to both of you now.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Have
Mandy.
a wonderful weekend. I hope it's enjoyable. Thank you, Tolakele, for bringing us the sport. Real growth needs more than just banking, and Nedbank Commercial Banking is your growth partner. Their team of industry experts understand your business and its potential, offering insight to help you see opportunity where others see obstacles. Because when you can see what others don't, you can do what others can't. Think bigger. Think Nedbank Commercial Banking. See money differently. Nedbank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Tata area, take me there.
I'll take you there.
Where the climate control interior cools lovers down.
I'll take you there.
Where the central control console places every decision within reach.
I'll take you there.
Where the 360 surround view camera never lets you miss a moment.
I'll take you there.
Whatever there is, wherever there is, let the all-new Tata area take you there. From only 549,900. T's and C's apply. Tata.
Tap into the power of good sleep. Visit Dial-A-Bed today and save up to 30% on our best-selling brands. Our Sealy Celebration Plush Comfort Queen Set is now $9,499, and our 40 Winks Active Zone Extra Firm Queen Set is now only $11,999. Save $6,000. Plus, get next-day delivery on our best sellers. Dial-A-Bed. Sleep for life.
Good things.
Good things.
With Brent Lindeque.
Wrapping up the week for us, as always, Brent Lindeque, the good things guy. Brent, bringing us some light to go with all the shade and heaviness that we've covered in the news.
What's happening, 702 in Cape Talk? Brent Lindeque, your good things guy here with more good news for your Friday. First up, Michael Best's inspiring journey to an honours degree. University life is already tough with long lectures, stacks of notes and the pressure of exams. But for Michael Best, who lives with quadriplegic cerebral palsy, it was tougher still. Writing with a pen was impossible. Typing meant slowly using just one finger, and surgeries often pulled him away from class. But Michael refused to give up. With the support of his family, his lecturers, and a determination bigger than his pain, he completed his honours degree in English at the University of Pretoria. He's now dreaming of a future in academia, proving that where there's a will, there really is a way. Michael's story reminds us that resilience doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet persistence of typing, one key at a time, until the goal is reached. Next up, a 5-year-old Vanya Espag should be spending her days laughing, playing and singing, and she still is, even after a tragic dog attack left her with visible scars and painful treatments ahead. Instead of losing her spirit, Vanya proudly calls herself as strong as a lion. Her family launched a BackaBuddy campaign to help her with reconstructive surgery, therapy, and recovery. And within days, South Africans showed up. Over 70,000 Rand was raised, proving once again the power of kindness when we come together. Avanya may have scars, but her light is brighter than ever, reminding us all that true courage has no age limit. And finally, the sea can be unforgiving, and when a surf skier was swept into rough currents off Morgan's Bay Beach, it looked like tragedy. But two ordinary men decided otherwise. Local surfer Craig Elliott paddled straight into the massive waves to reach the struggling man. Holding him up against relentless breakers, Craig kept him alive until help could come. That help came in the form of Richard Warren Smith, a hotelier with a jet ski who pushed through the choppy surf, pulled the man to safety, and then went back for Craig. Together, they saved a life. The NSRI commended them both, but maybe the most important part is this. They weren't trained rescuers, just everyday South Africans who chose bravery over bystanding, and that made all the difference. That's it for some of the good news this week. You can find more at www.goodthingsguide.com. And like I say every Friday, wishing you only good things.
Only good things. Brent Lindekoe, the good things guy, wrapping up our week for us, bringing us a little bit of sunshine and good news too.
The Midday Report.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. At the moment, we're still watching the Madlanga inquiry and General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi testifying at that commission in Pretoria. What we're 3 days in now, I think that we're in this for the long haul. I think any idea that this was going to be a quick delivery of a few explosive bombs, that's just not going to happen. I think he's going to be there for some time. Remember, it takes place in 3 phases. So he'll have a go, then there'll be rebuttals, and then he'll have an opportunity to respond. At the moment, he's been speaking about Brown Mokgotsi, about political influence, about how business people have been able to effectively gain access to classified information and have influence over the police. So I think lots of bombshells to come and lots of analysis on that as well. The Midday Report with Mandy Wiener on 702 and Cape Talk was brought to you by Nedbank Commercial Banking. Think bigger, think Nedbank Commercial Banking. It's 1 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Muizenberg residents take their frustrations over gun violence to Parliament's doorstep once again, and Northwest businessman's alleged interference in the police ventilated at the police inquiry. Good afternoon, I'm Maki Malapo. We begin in the Western Cape, where women activists from Overcome Heights in Muizenberg have once again chained themselves to the gates of Parliament in protest over escalating gang violence in the area. This is the second time they've taken their frustrations to Parliament's doorstep this week. Several mass shootings have been reported in the Muizenberg area in the past few weeks. Last week, Acting Police Minister Firoz Kachalia admitted that police are lagging behind in their fight against organised crime in the Cape. Ndutuzelo Nene is there.
A handful of demonstrators from Overcome Heights in Muizenberg are demanding more police visibility to deal with the rampant shootings. Rosalind Felix, who works as a street sweeper in her area, says their streets have become war zones.
I must stop my work this morning and I run. You think it's right? We must stay like that. Our children can go. No way.
Karin Mentor says enough is enough.
Again, bodies is laying in our informal settlement, but no police visibility. We will come here to Parliament until we die here, if that is what they want us to do.
The demonstrators are calling for the army to be deployed to deal with the violence in the Muizenberg area. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News outside Parliament.
In the capital, KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi says Brown Mokgotsi, a Northwest businessman, is not an informant for crime intelligence. Testifying on the third day of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today, Mkhwanazi has spoken at length about Mokgotsi, a person he paints as an information peddler who has been meddling in police affairs. Eyewitness News previously reported that Mokgotsi is a convicted criminal on multiple cases of assault, theft and defeating the ends of justice dating back to 1997. Despite Mokgotsi publicly claiming he